Hey, Braska, ain't this supposed to be a grand occasion? We're the cheering fans, the crying women.
It's no longer Halloween. My season has passed, even though technically it's currently before Halloween.
At the time of recording.
Time has been compressed.
Ultimatia victory. Write in Ultimatia on your ballot.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Not the president we want, but certainly the one we deserve. This is the Every FNFF podcast, and I am Curtis.
I'm Carl.
I'm Alex.
And we have a special guest this week.
You actually already heard them
It's true.
before we started talking.
This is also true.
It's probably true.
And who would that be?
Hey everybody, this is Justin Taylor from the band Night of the Round.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah!
goodness.
Woo!
Night of the Round, Night of the Round.
Never
Where have I
heard
heard that name before?
Never heard this song before.
No.
Oh, it was just this section we were playing.
Oh yeah, that's right. This week we're in Macalania Woods, the theme song of which is the theme song for the podcast, albeit like much more weak.
I'll bet it be.
I'll bet it be. So John Lennon.
Owl's bed,
Very nice,
Darren's
very
bed.
nice.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Just hanging
Cool.
and banging, man. Just I'm
Schmangin'.
I was just telling you guys I'm all caught up on the podcast, so I'm excited to participate.
You put yourself through all the torture and pain.
No, I told you I didn't listen to the FF1 yet.
Pro strat.
Yeah.
Avoid FF1 pro strat.
So last we talked to you, you were about to release a Final Fantasy VII album. How'd that go?
Yeah, that went about as good as it can go when you release an album in February of 2020.
Yeah, fair enough.
Such simpler times.
Yeah, man.
It comes
God,
down
yeah,
like
that
this will certainly be the most important thing that happens.
Holy shit! Yeah, I didn't even. Oh my god, this has been a long year.
I know.
Yeah, we played our album release show in Chicago, and then COVID became a thing, like a big thing, like just a couple weeks after that. So
Yeah.
all of our summer like shows, and we had a small little mini tour that we were trying to work on, and all that shit just had to take a back seat, obviously.
Yeah.
So
It was supposed to be the summer of George.
This is supposed to be the summer of George.
Let that be a lesson to you, listener. Don't make music or do anything fulfilling. Because then nature will fucking strike you down for your hubris.
yeah.
Sisyphean struggles.
Yeah, I know. Pushing the boulder on up that hill.
Not saying that we could not use the support of people purchasing more of those albums, because we are sitting on hundreds of copies of physical albums right now.
And it is a damn good album.
It's a damn good album.
Everyone listening right now should definitely go to Bandcamp.
Like anybody
should buy physical copies of it.
Yeah, anybody listening to like this podcast this entire season has just been like fucking rocking the fuck out.
Yeah, seriously.
This fucking intro song. And
Yeah.
like, guess where you can hear more of that? In an FF7 flavor. So
Do you guys still have the Moogle Pentagram USBs of the full discography as well?
We actually did just sell out of those. So
Well,
that's,
listener, I got one, and I will be scalping it at the highest possible price. No, I'm just kidding.
if you press A as soon as you see the flash sale, you'll dodge the lightning bolt. Anyway.
Cool.
So yeah, we're in a Macalania Woods this week, fams.
Hell yeah.
And I love that the opening
Yes.
of this is just Riku still being fucking terrified.
Mhm.
Like, she's like the first one into Macalania Woods, and she's still like shaking and like kind of hunched over, like walking into it. It's all freaked out.
It's very
Yeah.
cute.
But yeah, everybody walks in there, and then Oren and Titus kind of are bringing up the back because they're always having like their little fucking bro time behind
Their
it.
little palaver.
Yeah, palaver. I love that. I actually don't even know that word, but like through context.
It might be a made-up word by Stephen King in the Dark series or the Dark Tower series. I don't know.
It sounds like an English version of powwow.
Yes.
Ooh, I suppose. Well, I guess with Stephen King, it's a main version.
It's
Anyway,
actually called a red snapper up there.
Oren says, "You're worried about Yuna," and Titus is like, "Well, of course I'm worried about her. What is she thinking?"
The simplest answer would be, in exchange for agreeing to marry him, she hopes to negotiate with Seymour.
And like, man, Yuna,
Yeah.
always. I don't know, man. But yeah, like
Why do you think anyone becomes president?
to negotiate with Seymour, the Pope.
To bring about the calm.
But yeah, so like basically Oren is saying that like, yeah, she's gonna try to like reason with Seymour somehow and get something out of him. But and Oren's like not really feeling it either. He's like, no, Seymour's a genius. Like, she's not gonna be able to stand toe to toe with this guy if she tries to do that. So like,
Yeah.
shit is actually bad. And Titus is even like, well, we could just do something about it. And Oren's like, yeah, but she doesn't want you to do something about it. And guess what? Them's the breaks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And and Titus kind of gets mad at it or whatever. And Oren's just like, look, you could think of it this way. She doesn't want us caught up in whatever she's planning. So like, if it does go wrong, like we don't all get fucked by it. And then Titus just says, well, that makes me worry even more.
I loved this interaction between the two. I thought this
I know.
interaction between Titus and Oren was
I know.
awesome.
Yeah, Oren just says like that's the way she is. She's naive, serious to a fault, and doesn't ask for help. Which is, she's a people pleaser. She's like,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to bother people. She doesn't want people to worry. But if she has a plan, she doesn't want to tell anyone.
I like
Yeah.
how he described her like in the way that people describe themselves in their like Twitter bios, like naive, serious, serious to a fault, fluent in sarcasm.
Leo.
Totally random.
And then I do like the end of this though, where Oren says Yuna is easy to read, and Titus is like, yeah, she is, and Oren just walks away and says, but hard to guard. And I was like, ugh, it's always so business with Oren. I love it.
Always have a shoof buff nearby. Scoop her out of trouble.
But yeah, so we join back up with the rest, and fucking Riku's like calling us slow pokes and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
And in narration voice, Titus says, it's funny how calm I was. Maybe it's because I realized Yuna wasn't marrying Seymour for love. Not really.
It was just her duty. Something she had to do before returning to her pilgrimage. That's what I kept telling myself anyway. And well, maybe. I realized that Yuna and I'd never,
You know.
It's like, no, what?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. But like that's the end of that scene. And I was like,
Go steady.
even still through all of this, Titus is still just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
in the
does.
proms tomorrow.
He does say like Yuna, let's go, which I think is like kind of more just hammering home him.
Oh,
like,
that's what Unalesca means.
It's just him kind of coming to grips with it and being like, well, it is what it is. This like
Yeah.
everyone, she has her lot in life, and it's this, and my
Yeah.
lot in life is
Yeah.
to just kind of be there no matter what.
I just had a really funny thought. You ever seen the first Back to the Future movie?
Of course.
It's like Seymour is Biff and Titus
Hey,
is
get your
damn
hands
hands off my girl. It fucking does the punch or whatever.
No, Seymour. You leave her alone.
Yeah.
Waka's playing guitar, and then some bully comes to slow dance with Yuna, and Waka's just looking at his hand as he's like fading in and out.
Maester Mika, you know that high summoner you've been looking for? Listen to this.
Butthead.
So this area, Macalania Woods, right? Super pretty. It's kind of like
Crystalline.
It's crystalline. It's a crystalline forest. It's
Yeah.
really awesome. I feel like that's like the most Final Fantasy an area could possibly be.
For sure. It's also
Like-
pretty
It's
fantasy just in general
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
area.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like I don't know. It feels like an area of Pokemon in some ways.
I can see that. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Whatever.
There's Zubits everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh no.
But off to the right is the fucking
squad.
Chocobo Knights, or at least two of them, right? Lucille and Elmer are standing there.
Yeah.
And if you walk up to them, Lucille says,
Lady Yuna, it is good to see you made it through safely. And, if I may, congratulations on your betrothal.
and Elmer's like, oh, Maester Seymour's people are expecting you. Take that road to Macalania Temple. And like, that's all that you have to, or you actually don't even have to interact with them.
Yeah.
And like, you can come back and talk to them afterwards. And one thing really bothered me about this, and it fucking drove me up a fucking wall. If you talk to Elma, Like, so they're kind of like blocking this path to the right. So
Yeah,
you
they're
can't
just
walk
like
there.
hovering by there. When you try to go past them, they
Right.
actually say this road leads to Bevel. You should hurry to the temple in
Yeah.
Macalania.
And then they're on watch duty until then.
Yeah.
And then after Elma says we're on watch duty, she goes, "Oh, class goes back this way. You should go back this way and talk to him."
Yeah.
But you can't. You can't go back that way. They're blocking it. Why would they tell you that?
They say it in a way where it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. After like looking at it now, I was like, oh, they're maybe coming from like the woods area and going towards Bevel, and they're like, oh, Clasco's still back there, so you should.
But
go
they
talk to
literally
him.
say go talk to him. But
Yeah.
you can't.
If you've got time, which we don't.
Oh, that's a good
They do
point.
say if you've
That's
got
the
time,
caveat.
which is
Yeah.
great because it just is like another like gag with him just always being left
I gotta
behind.
go
like,
talk to
Yeah.
a man about a chocobo.
if you've got time.
But yeah, if you try to run by them, like Lucille will be like, "Oh, that road leads to Bevel. You can't go that way." And if you try to do it again, Elma says, "Weren't you listening to the captain?" Do not fuck with Elma. You know
Yeah.
what you'll do.
You know what she's capable of.
You know what she's capable of. Fuck, you don't want to turn into the chocobo eater.
What do you? How did you fare with the chocobo eater, Justin?
Shit. Yeah. God. The last time, like I was saying, the last time I played it was maybe a year and a half ago. I
You managed to push him off the cliff.
one time and don't like I'm not swearing on anything here, but I could have swore at one of my playthroughs I did knock him off.
Fuck yeah, I believe it.
Master.
But like I was telling you guys before we started, I've probably played this game around 5 times. Most recently, I played it about a year and a half ago, and that time I did not push him off, but I could have swore that I did it at some point.
Yeah.
like maybe like 10, 15 years ago or something.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say my memory is about 90% accurate going back that far.
I'd say it's 100%. I absolutely believe that you did it.
I couldn't tell you how the hell I did it or what my strategies were,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah, it's a 20-year-old game. We had time to figure it out.
Oh, it is 20 years old now. Oh my god.
yeah,
Ugh.
that's funny because back when I was listening to that episode, I was telling myself like, oh man, if I was on this episode, what would I tell them? Because like I could have swore that I did it, but you guys were like swearing that it was impossible. I'm like shit, and I was like doubting myself. Like, wait, did I push him off? I know I pushed him off, and then here you guys go asking me about it. So
If you were on that episode, you would have said that, but we told you multiple times you can't be on this episode.
Stop asking
Stop
us. You
asking.
can't be on this one.
But yeah, so like we're just walking through the Macalania Woods, trying to get to the end area and get past it to go see Seymour, right? And it's kind of neat. Like the way that we walk through is on like, what would you call it? Like not even tree branches. It's like
They are vines.
It's a weird path.
vines
Yeah.
It's what
slash-
Tarzan surfs on in the Disney movie.
It is, yeah. Elton John's playing this whole time. It's fucking fantastic. Is
It's
that Elton John or
Phil-
was it Phil
Phil
Collins?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
Who did Sledgehammer?
Phil Collins.
Sick.
Also, The Fall of Troy have a song called Sledgehammer.
Who was the other popular person in Genesis?
Blast processing.
That's the one.
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel, thank you. Wait, was Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer or was it Phil Collins?
I think it was Phil Collins. God damn it, Curtis. See, this is what we do on this podcast. We fucking so doubt in people. They say that they knocked the Chocobo Eater off, and then all of a
It's
sudden...
not even related to Final Fantasy. You look it up while I keep talking.
It's the Macalania effect, what they call it.
So we're walking along these like, it really is like what fucking Tarzan like fucking surfs on.
Is
though.
it-
God damn it, it is Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Is it ice? Is it trees? Why not both?
Ow! Sorry, that's the sound from Sledgehammer.
Why did Tarzan wear a loincloth?
So we're walking through Macalania Woods, and yeah, we're like going up on like vines and like tree branches, and it kind of like weaves in and out very pretzely, like the
Like the pretzel.
like a pretzel, you
Like
might
the
say.
famous pretzel that we all know and love.
Wetzel's pretzels.
The humble pretzel.
Actually, Alex is literally eating a soft pretzel while we're recording, just so everybody knows. So this is like very near and dear. He's actually just getting preps for this episode. This is why he's doing it. So yeah, like the mini map actually like goes between like multiple like when you walk when you increase or decrease in elevation, the minimap changes to reflect kind of where you're standing, but it's kind of confusing. Like if you get into a battle while you're walking through here, it's very easy to forget which direction you were heading.
Oh, yeah. That would only like be an issue if like you were trying to get through here with like a time limit of some kind, but luckily we don't have to worry about that at all.
No, Seymour will wait. He's got no other he's got nothing to
You
do.
can have the wedding without
It's pretty easy if you're not like paying attention to get disoriented and like go back the way you were coming. And like the random encounters in this area are pretty tough.
I like them.
Me too,
I
yeah.
like them.
They last a while. Like I was,
They can, yeah.
After before I was playing before we had to record. Like I'm just gonna flee. I don't have time for this right now.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I was like, I'll come back and level grind after.
Live and let live.
I'll go so easy on me next time.
Yo, I like the Chimera.
Yo, it's really cool.
It's 3 heads. Oh, and I guess 4 if you count the tail.
Yeah. It's got a snake
What is a
for a
tail by a head?
tail.
It's all about perspective.
That's the one that does the aqua lung or whatever. right?
Yeah, it whips out a flute.
Aqua breath, but it's essentially the
Aqua
same
breath.
attack as aqua lung.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in many Final Fantasy. I'm sure, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and much like Aqualung, you can learn it as an enemy skill if
Yep,
you have
yep.
Kimari. I almost called him. I'm thinking Chimera and Kimari at the same time, so now my brain is extra fucked up.
He also has a Megiddo Flame, which Megiddo Flame can do 4 digits of damage to a party member.
I'm
So,
glad I
like,
did not see that one.
Brutal. That one can fuck you up.
Yeah,
it's-
While we're talking about battles, I'm not sure if you guys have talked about it so far. I haven't necessarily heard it, but I may have spaced off. Are you guys swapping out every character in every battle at this point?
yeah, we can. At this point, yeah.
I think we
But,
talked about
you can, but
Yeah.
are you doing it?
Oh, you mean just to get the
Because-
experience?
Yeah, because all you got to do is do one attack with one person, get them out of the battle. They get the same EXP or
Yeah.
whatever as if you
Yeah,
had
yeah.
them in the whole fight.
hell yeah.
At this point,
Okay.
too, because like Riku's relatively new, so I actually do find it pretty useful to like put Riku in, steal something,
Yeah.
and then just get her right out
Yeah.
again. Because like
Mhm.
unless she has
that's-
her,
that's the move with her.
yeah, unless she has her limit break too, she's not going to be doing like the most damage or anything like that.
Yeah.
Limit break, overdrive.
Yeah, it's all limit breaks.
It's all limit breaks. Yeah,
Lemon breaks all the way down.
yeah, that's right.
I just didn't know if that was discussed on a previous episode or not, because it becomes pretty crucial, at least in my experience playing the game, that
Yeah,
Definitely.
getting everybody in, especially like from this point of the game on, everybody's got to get in. It sucks because it makes your battles a little longer, but luckily it's easy to switch characters out in and out of battle.
I'll put one exception in there, in that like you could give or take Kimari.
I was gonna say rip to not using Kimari because
Yeah, no.
I'm like, he's
Kimari's
got-
useful for one battle, like way later. And by useful, I mean like we have to use him. But like,
you don't have an option.
yeah, right.
Like I love Kimari as a character, even though I like almost forgot his name like a minute ago. But just yeah, I'm like, well, Auron has pierce damage and Auron is Auron, so why would I use this other character
Right,
whose other
right.
thing currently that doesn't involve investing a lot of like I almost called them soul levels, a bunch of sphere levels into like. His thing is just he also does piercing damage.
Yeah,
So I'm
right.
like,
Yeah. Which, like, actually, I guess that can come in handy right now because, there are enemies that will be armored.
You got Auron, dude.
Yeah.
Auron takes care of that shit.
Yeah.
Man.
And like,
Kimari is pretty useless.
yeah,
The one thing I will say about Kimari that's
Actually, I
that's
don't
good
think he has
is
armor break
using
yet.
is using Lancet, but it's also kind of like you need to know if like
The enemy actually
I was just
has-
kind of like, oh, Chimera, like this looks like an enemy that would probably have an enemy skill that I can
Right.
use, so I'm going to use Lancet.
right. Yeah, absolutely. Just finishing up on that enemy as well. So like everything that the everything the Chimera does is very damaging. Even its normal attacks are very damaging. But it can be silenced. It can be blinded. But silence doesn't keep it from casting Aqua Breath or Megiddo Flame. So like,
Oh damn.
why even? I don't know.
Yeah. It's the scan for it says that it's like if you have a scout on, it says that it's weak to darkness and
Yeah.
silence. But it's also like it doesn't last for the whole battle.
Yeah.
So
Speak-
this thing's rough. But
It is.
in further defense of Kimari, do you know how I beat my first Chimera?
How?
I got his overdrive and I used stone breath and I just turned in his phone and fucking destroyed him. And I was like,
Dude,
hell yeah.
You know what's wild about this game? Like, I feel like in a lot of Final Fantasies, like they don't like encourage stat abuse, like status effects, because like every fucking enemy seems to be just like you can't cast it on them. They're always immune to everything. But like Final Fantasy X, dude, stone works on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really can fuck up some enemies up.
For a while, I was using the I forgot which weapon it was, but I had a weapon with Lulu where it was a stone touch type thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
hell yeah.
that shit rules.
Where like it would actually wasn't using her for magic at some point in the game.
Yeah.
It's just because it has like a pretty abnormally high success rate, kind of like Waka's. I forgot which ball you get early on in the game where like his stone throw or stone touch works like significantly high. Like the chance of that status effect landing is like pretty high.
Yeah, I feel
which seems like disproportionate from other Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like,
but that's fine with me because I approve of the status ailment, promotion.
Well, I feel like it does good for the way this game works, in that it's kind of like we've said multiple times, like puzzle fights, and like leaving something to random chance doesn't always feel good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like I did something smart if it only happens so often, or if I just got lucky. But if it's relatively consistent that like this item will do this thing, I can feel like, I'm smart. I fucking utilized my knowledge of the game to be able to cause this to happen. So I think that that's a good thing for this game.
Yeah.
There's some treasure chests on the way. You get some 5,000 gil. You can get some fucking Phoenix down ×3, baby.
You can get a sleepy Kate Sith.
You can get a sleepy Kate
Cat
Sith.
She.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a Guado walking along who says he leaves Yuna in your hands.
I like
Thanks,
that.
bud. I appreciate that.
I like that so much. Just how fucking like pretentious that is to be like.
That's exactly what it
she's
is.
marrying like the Guado, so now she is like a Guado.
Yeah.
So like, okay, her guardians, whose sole job is to protect her and guide her. I leave her in your.
Yeah.
I never met Lady Yuna.
Yeah, I don't know
but
her.
I leave her in your hands because
Thanks,
like
bud.
me and
Thanks.
Seymour, we go way back.
Yeah, I know, I know.
It's so good.
Oh God. Yeah, that guy.
What a turd.
During this, I learned Dark Buster on Waka.
Nice.
So like, will cause blind 100% of the time, but only for one turn. So like, if you know a turn that an enemy is going to do something on, you can use it right there.
Yeah.
And just that turn it works for. So like, that's good strategizing.
Hell
Love
yeah.
that as a thing.
We meet an enemy that at least a variant of an enemy that we fought when we first meet Riku.
Yeah, the click.
Yeah.
But it's called the Zyphos here. It's basically a click whip with cool Ganon hair.
Oh yeah.
It's got
yeah.
the blade hands and
Got
shit.
the laser blade legs and stuff. Yeah, razor blade.
Laser blade.
It's tough. That thing, like, if it would just sometimes just soak up damage.
It's not as tough as the Chimera, but it is still.
But it comes with
pretty
other
tough.
enemies, is the thing.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
But
and it can be much tougher in this area too, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, and then like along with those enemies like that it'll show up with, there's some elementals that it'll show up with. I think in this is it water elementals here.
Yeah. But there's also like blobs and stuff that are like and like the armadillo enemy that we have
The
to
mud
keep
crab.
fighting.
Yeah.
But it's like an icy mud crab.
Yeah, but it's like an ice one. So like what I noticed here in this area that's like pretty difficult to like deal with is there's a lot of different elemental like weaknesses.
Yeah,
And it's not
don't
standard.
overlap.
But they all have like a blue color palette. So you're like, oh, water is what this type is, so I'm gonna use this. And then you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
this one's actually like a blizzard type.
Yeah. So you have to like constantly switch it up, and
That
like
probably won't come up later as elemental like weaknesses.
yeah. I can't imagine anything about having to like switch around elemental weaknesses. No, it's probably fine. You know, I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. But let's see. Along with the Dark Buster, I also learned slow on Titus.
Oh,
So,
nice.
It's opposite
Opposite
pace.
pace for the
Yeah.
for your enemies. Yeah.
Yep. And I also learned luck with Riku, which is like cheer or focus, but just for luck.
Yeah.
So I not gonna get a lot of mileage out of that. I don't think. I mean,
Especially like with Riku, who has so many better skills than that.
exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. But we do see a familiar face as we're walking along.
We sure
here.
do.
Yeah, we do. Someone who I kind of like now or whatever.
My favorite himbo.
My favorite himbo.
Yeah,
It's Oren's biggest fan,
It is.
Yeah.
El Barto.
Yeah, so Bartello's like running down, and he's like in rare form. Like we haven't
Dude.
really seen him this way. Like
He's always
He's fucking running like an idiot.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And when we say running like an idiot, like he's doing everything like an idiot all the time. We're talking about like he's maximum overdrive idiot right now.
I'm pretty sure they like mocapped like Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump when he's running like super goofy for this because like he's running pretty
chest
weird.
out and everything.
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Plus, I don't know if you guys have talked about it on. I forget this every time I play through FF10 until I start playing through FF10, like how over exaggerated all of the motions are.
Yeah.
Because obviously with this being the first voice acted Final Fantasy, they didn't have to do all that. Like
right.
7, 8, 9, they had all the all the arm swings and head
Squall
bullshit
doing
going on,
the
like Barrett doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's like they kept all that in 10, but they had voice acting, so they didn't have to. It's like you get double the emotive response from like everybody, and it's so funny to watch if you're not expecting it.
As far as I'm concerned, every game should be that way.
I think it could be like two things. One of it being like playing to the back of the room because when this came out, like screens were still kind of relatively small.
That's a good point.
And everything
That's
was
a
kind of
good
blurry.
point.
And then also like mocap technology was pretty rudimentary, so they probably had to kind of overcompensate for like all the lack of nuance that it had.
But he runs up and says something incredibly reassuring. The very first thing he says, he just runs up and goes,
Have you seen Donna?
Yeah.
"Oh no." And Titus says, "Donna, can't say I have."
Yeah, and Waka asks, like, what's up? And Bartello is like, we got separated on the way here. Damn it all, I've got to find her. And Aaron just, like, cuts him off, and he's like, calm down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, Aaron, like...
He senses
gets
what's
straight
going
daddy
on. Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Dude, Aaron is just... He just owns this whole situation so hard.
I know.
Like, I love it. I love it so much.
I know. Bartello's like, but if anything happens to her, and he just cuts him off again and says,
Running around in a panic is not going to help. Right now, you have to keep cool and search.
And
like,
Bartello's like,
but yeah, and he's like, guard your emotions, then guard your summoner. And like it gets through to him.
It does this amazing cut too, where you see Bartello, he's like stone faced, and it's like sinking in on him that he's getting this.
It
awesome
zooms in a few for like clicks in like two.
It zooms in, but like single frames. It's like one times away, then 2 times like close, then 3 times close. It's so goofy.
It's
enhance.
And he just goes,
good.
"You're right." And Oren, even Alfred's like, "Oh, shall we search?" And he goes, "No, I've taken up enough of your time." And he sounds so serious after this too.
Yeah.
Do you think
like
he's
so
overcompensating?
motivated.
Like, I need to be strong for Oren.
He's like, oh man, I just geeked out really hard in front of my like hero. I need to fucking reel it in and like act like I'm cool. Like,
be cool.
And then, so he like runs off, and Riku kind of like starts running after him, and Waka's like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
yeah, he's like, "Hey, what? Wait, what?
And
what's
she
up,
goes,
Riku? Wait, what's going on?"
And she goes, "Oh, I just wanted to wish him good luck."
Sounds legit.
And like, it
We
did
should
make me
trust
think
her.
because like summoners were disappearing, but we caught Riku.
Yeah.
And she wants to stop with all the summoning.
Stop with all this. Hey, kids, I'm a computer. Stop all the summon. I'm a summoner. Stop all the summoning.
So yeah, she maybe knows something.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
But maybe feels a little guilty, but also
I think it's you guys
she's
are
like,
reading into it too much.
But yeah, she's gonna get fucking caught.
Yeah, we should just trust her. It's fine.
Right.
Let's go. Then we see
She
another.
wants to steal my materia.
No, she only did that like 2 or 3 times. We can totally trust her and go to her home village. And what could go wrong? But yeah, we see another familiar friend.
Oh, so we do get to like walk a little ways. It doesn't immediately happen, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just threw that in there just so people know. Like,
Oh yeah. It's not like just cutscene after cutscene. Like you can like go back and stuff. But like the next area that you get to will just trigger a cutscene of that bird guy.
the Shredder.
Yeah, he's like the guy who looks like the Breath of the Wild like bird like Rito.
He was on the boat with Maester Micah.
He was a
There's 2
part
of
of that ska band that we were talking
Yeah,
about.
right.
With the harp for the wings.
Yeah. So he has like the harp wing robe.
He
thing,
just
right?
looks like a guy with like just a parrot head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks weird as fuck. Let's be honest. This dude, like, as I was watching the playthrough, like to kind of prepare for this episode, I actually I paused it on there and I was trying to dissect his whole getup. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? The coat that he's wearing almost looks like I was getting like Englishman red coat vibes, but it's blue.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh man, you want to
It's
know
like,
something? There's something really bothering me about him now.
It's like
actually.
that plus like ornate
Fucking
like,
everything.
Well, you know what? No, because like, look, I play Final Fantasy games. I'm ready for some weird anthropomorphic people. That's fine,
that's
right?
true.
But I'm just now seeing this. He has detailed man hands, like human hands with fingernails and everything, and like,
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah, he
that.
just has a bird head with like a fucking headdress.
Yeah, I will say that his like the back of his hands are covered with like the same feathers that cover his face. But I don't know if this reference is going to mean anything to anyone who listens. But he looks like a Taheen from the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. And he's about to have a palaver with us, which I also looked up, and it is a legitimate word.
Okay.
The only reason I was like kind of confused is because in the Dark Tower series, Stephen King absolutely just makes up words,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay, whatever.
Well, like,
I'm gonna look this up real quick. This guy has like a race or whatever. Or-
I know he does have a name because I did look something up.
bird person.
Bird person,
What is that from?
Harvey Bird. I think that's Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bird person, yeah.
So we find Harvey Birdman here.
I like that, like, he doesn't seem like he's talking to us. It just seems like he's talking and we're there.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
overhearing him like reciting poetry.
Yeah.
Like that guy who's fishing in the tunnels in Night in the Woods.
Right, yeah.
And then you like
He's
you're
almost like talking to the player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Titus.
He says,
Yeah.
a butterfly with rainbow wings will lead the way to secret things. Like, first of all, secret things, like, that's so fucking, like, it only works because it's a video game. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a piece of poetry that somebody would say to, like,
It's the
secret thing.
It's the kind of thing that if you heard waiting for a bus in Philly, you'd be like, okay, this person's about to jump me. Like, I gotta like stay on my guard. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
His name is Bora.
On my phone, I have all the notes that I took for this episode, and all I put for this little like section is weird ass bird harp man with headdress.
Wait, Alex, raise your hand.
His name is Bora.
Bora.
I'm a Bora.
My wife, Bora.
It's literally Borat without the T. Home, Macalania Woods. Race, musician.
So now everyone knows why we had Justin on for this episode. They couldn't even do like Bard or something. Like it's a fucking Final Fantasy game. Musician. Holy shit. Same.
They label it as a different race because musicians never get to breed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so after talking to that and after he recites the poem or whatever, or maybe that's just how he talks, it then like gives us like a tutorial prompt that just says Macalania Woods butterfly hunt. Approach the butterfly of many hues, and its red and blue brethren shall appear. Try to catch 7 of the blue butterflies, but beware the reds, for they call powerful fiends when threatened. Butterflies disappear after a certain time. Try catching the blue butterflies while avoiding the red ones.
Carl,
So,
this is fucking stupid.
this is very stupid.
This is so fucking dumb.
This feels like a Hello Kitty like mobile game.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, I would play the shit out of that Hello Kitty mobile game though.
Like, don't tap the red ones.
Don't tap the red butterflies.
Well,
don't touch the sides.
After I played through this part, I sent you guys a video from The Simpsons where it was like when you touch the red butterfly, and it's just that scene from The Simpsons where Bart's like, I want to be reincarnated as a butterfly because no one ever suspects the butterfly.
The butterfly.
It's like the cops are arresting Skinner, and he's like, I didn't burn down the school. It was
the butterfly,
The
I tell ya."
butterfly, I tell you. And Bart's like, as a butterfly holding a can of gas
giant
and
can
just
of
laughing
gas.
maniacally. So yeah, this is a weird mini game.
Yeah,
This is a terrible minigame.
yeah.
Hate
Okay.
this. The other note that I put down for this section is fuck this quest.
Yeah, no. It sucks. And like,
They're like, how can we do that cool cactuar thing again in this area right after it? And they're like, oh, I got something. Let's do
dude,
this.
you don't even fucking know.
Do y'all
about
remember the
Cactuars.
Elephant ads from the 90s?
Elephant.
Oh, yeah.
Is a fucking elephant that just blasted butterflies.
That was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
fun. That was a pretty fun game.
Would you call it elephant?
I would call it Elephant. Show poo fun.
Yeah, so like there's multiple things I don't like about this. Okay, look. So the premise is
This area needs more Machen, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
damn, you're right.
He would talk actually about these butterflies.
He would talk about it and then we would love it.
And then and then we'd be super into it. But as it stands, once you get to the end of this long winding path, there's a butterfly that doesn't quite look the same as the other ones. If you press A or whatever your action button is on it, a timer appears, and then you run back the direction you came, trying to press A on just the blue butterflies. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like, the way the mini map and the actual in-game map work together, you can't fucking tell where they are. Like, you can't tell if it's on the left or the right of the path. So you're running into ones that you don't want to run into, and you're not clicking ones when you want to hit them.
Yeah.
And like, I was like,
If this is a Mario 3D Land level, it'd make more sense because they like utilize the 3D effect and shit.
yeah,
Sure,
right,
yeah.
yeah. But like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this like a couple goes and then just not fucking worry about it because we do need to do it for something later. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just do it now. And the thing is, if you do it now, you don't get the good reward that you'll get later.
You do get a good reward, though.
How good?
I mean, for Lulu, I like it.
She already has like fucking 300 MP.
That's
I don't know,
true.
yeah, whatever.
That's true.
You get like an
get,
ether, right?
No, you get an MP sphere.
An MP sphere.
So
I'm
you get
sorry.
to
Yeah,
use
that's right,
you get to use that for
An empty
a
sphere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, on an empty sphere thing, you can add a different MP increase.
So we'll get something real different later in the game for doing this.
Yeah. But I will say, there's actually you can in this like episode you can get 2 different rewards for it. The first one that you do is before spoiler alert, we're coming up to a boss fight sometime soon. Hello, Fish.
Friend of the pod, Fish is here.
He also hates this mini game.
Just so you know, Justin, his cat is trying to get in.
I figured.
Yeah, but before the boss fight that we're going to be getting to in this episode, you get the MP sphere as a reward. If you come back after the boss fight, you have a shorter timer and you get like have to do it again and it's a little harder.
Yeah.
And then you get I think like 2 mega elixirs or something.
Okay.
Which that's not really a great reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on there will be a better reward.
Yes, correct. Anyway, it kind of sucks ass, but
yeah, another important thing, if you hit so one nice thing about this mini game is it disables like random encounters in the area.
That's true. That's
so it
true.
might even be worth it to just like start this mini game and then like either wait for the timer to go out and like go through it if you don't want to get into random encounters, which is pretty cool. But if you accidentally walk into one of the red butterflies, you get thrown into like
a
battle that's the same format as like the random encounters, except the enemies are like significantly tougher, and you can't run from them.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so like, what would normally be like, oh, okay, this takes me 3 turns to clear the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It'll take like probably 10. Like there's a significant spike in their like in their defense and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, how about that? Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
But there's one important thing that happened to me specifically. I learned a very important skill on Riku's sphere grid. As a Final Fantasy V speedrunner, it's the most important skill.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Spare change, or as it's known in other games, Gil toss, baby.
Hell yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Throw money, make damage.
This is where you get to throw the Simpsons character Gil, old Gil.
That's right.
Who's always on hard times.
MC Faux Show.
Yes.
His name's Gil.
Oh, right.
I don't think I've ever used the spare change attack.
Okay, so in this game, it is very, very simple the way the calculation is done. It is the amount of gil you've thrown minus a 0.
Oh, okay.
I think that's right.
So that's a lot. Like, you have to have a lot of gil to make it, like, pretty good.
Alex, you should look that up.
I don't think I've ever actually found use for it in this game.
You know what it's useful for? The speed run. But yeah, yeah, you can just do a bunch of damage, like, real quick. The thing is, like, in this game, unlike fucking almost every other Final Fantasy, you're strapped for cash all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So, like,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
not as, it's not as useful. But in other games, like 5 or fucking wherever, like, you just get so much goddamn money that you can just be like, I think I'll just do quad 9 damage right now. And you just throw enough money to do it.
Every 10 gil thrown inflicts 1 point of damage.
Yeah,
Up to
okay.
100,000 gil can be thrown at once, which will deal 999 damage.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah, pretty
It's
cool.
considered neither physical or magical,
Oh, that's cool.
so
I
it's
know
special
that.
damage.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Well, I got that, and that's exciting. And then at the end of the route is a save sphere.
Yeah.
And then we do the most important thing of the podcast this episode. We play Blitzball.
Of course.
Yeah. I feel like Blitzball is a good, well-rounded side game, like a side quest, because all the other little piddly side quests suck so much ass. I'm just going to get more heated as we go on through the game.
Oh yeah,
What's your experience with Blitzball, Justin?
very little. Listening to you guys talk about it in the previous episodes makes me want to like give it another shot. But,
Yeah.
everything you said about it was accurate too. Like the way it throws you into a game where you're almost set up to fail is such a big turnoff for everybody, including myself, that every time I play the game, I'm just like, yep, nope, don't care enough about this to invest the time or energy into this mini game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never really messed with it. But I've had friends who swear by it, and who say it's actually, once you put in the work, it's actually super fun. So
I would advise.
I totally believe the validity of that argument. I just personally have never really
I would have
done it. You know,
I would advise that anybody who's playing along with us also wait to really get into Blitzball until a certain thing later, and I'll make a big deal of it when it happens. I'll be like, okay, now.
We found Donald Duck. We can recruit him to the Aurochs, and then we cannot lose.
That's right.
Yo, you see the trailer for that new Rhythmic Kingdom Hearts game?
No.
Looks lame.
I would just like to issue an official apology to friend of the show, Wimmer. For all the shit that we talked on Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I got more where that came from. But Owaka's here.
Yeah.
Just being Owaka.
With
With a weird mechanic this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like it.
So, the only thing I really saw in his inventory this time was the Sonic Steel for Titus has first strike, which allows him to move first if he has it equipped.
Yeah.
So, like, that can be used with some good effect, depending on, like, what your strategies are. For
combine that with Flea, and you have no problems.
Exactly.
Like,
No,
you can
100%.
just run from every battle.
Yeah, because I think Flea, like, unless there's, like, a story reason for you not to be able to flee, I think it works 100% of the time.
Yeah, unless you touch the red butterflies.
Yeah, don't do it.
No one ever suspects the butterfly.
So, what about this mechanic?
Yeah, it's very weird. So, you talk to him and he says, welcome.
Holiday prices on all items in celebration of Maester Seymour Guado's wedding.
And then, like, you just get the prompt, like, got any weapons, got any items. And you look at it, and, like, the Sonic Steel, I looked at it, and it was the first time I think I saw, like, 5 digits of, like, something be like...
It's pricey.
Yeah, it's like 12,000 gil. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get that. So I just backed out, and then he says, too expensive, you think?
Yeah.
And then you can say, too pricey, just right, or too cheap. And what did everyone say?
I absolutely said too pricey.
Of course, you got to say too pricey. I don't know what happens with the other things. I should have looked it up. But when you say too pricey, he's like, oh, okay, you know what, like... Let me mark them down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you go to got items, and he like throws like 3,000 gil off like the Sonic Steel.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll buy it now.
Oh, I did too pricey and like nothing happened.
Really?
Oh,
He didn't
interesting.
say anything. I think it was maybe just like a glitch or something, but it was just
I don't know
silent.
I don't know if he actually says anything.
Well, time to look it up. Let's see here.
Yeah, because I don't have a screenshot of him saying anything after that, but I do have a screenshot of it being like cheaper. And then so what
it
happened?
could also depend on how much money you invested in his business earlier.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. But I don't think he says anything after you say that. And then you just like take a look again. And then when you, after you like close out of that, he says, I'll go with these prices for a while. So he does change them and he goes with those for a while, but like not forever.
Okay, so it does look like it actually should do a 25% increase or decrease depending on what you said, which is fucking insane that like it gives you the option to do too cheap because he just raises his price 25%.
I love it, man. He's
wild.
a
It's
hustler.
wild.
What
What
can
kind
I
of a
say?
sleazeball are you? Like, nah, man, you should be...
That's so wild to me that that's a thing that can happen.
Know your worth.
This would be really funny if there was like asynchronous like multiplayer or something.
you make it more
You
expensive
just
for
make
other
it more
people.
expensive and it sends it out to everyone else's game. They're like, God damn it.
It's like EVE Online.
It would be like Twitch plays Pokemon where there would just be like two like factions warring against each other, trying
Yeah.
to be like, no, we're actually trying to finish the game, or being like, no one can buy from Owaka.
Well, fucking Owaka's shenanigans like literally have tired me out, and I think I need to retire
Yeah.
at that save sphere for a little bit.
Yeah, we should play some Blitzball at this save sphere.
That's what I do to unwind.
That is legitimately what I've been doing to unwind recently.
It's disgusting. All right, Alex, take us to
Bread.
the chorus.
Go to bread.
Yeah. So that we could hear
Oh,
this
no. Should I not
wild
say
thing
this?
Justin was going to say. No, by all means.
Yo, I was gonna say that I think the sphere system is better than the materia system. I don't know, but I think I may have misspoke. I don't want to say it's better, but there's
Unlikely story.
I put him on pre-blast, and he's like, backpedaling.
It might not be better because it's so simple. Like how there's almost nothing to it. I welcome the fact of how simple it is because it's very easy to show this to introduce people to Final Fantasy games through this game, and I think I just grown to appreciate how simple it is and how foolproof it is for people who are newcomers to the series.
Simple, but also very easy to like go fully off the rails if you want to get really like
nutty with it.
Nutty with it, yeah.
Well, eventually, I feel like it's not that easy to get super nutty.
Not off the bat. If you're playing the international version, it is, but not on the standard version. I think.
Right.
I guess that's kind of how materia is too. Though.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum on this take because you say that you like the sphere grid system for how like simple it is and like put it above materia because of that. Whereas I think that the junction system is way superior.
The one that everybody hates,
which
is
probably the most like convoluted and complex.
The junction system is so fucking stupid, and that's
so
exactly why it
weird.
Rules.
It's literally just build your own stats however you want.
Just
so
like, oh, you're
bad.
level 7 and you're at 9,999 HP. Okay, whatever.
I can't wait for you guys to do FF8 because I for sure want to be on like maybe the like 5th or 6th episode.
Okay.
Because that's probably about when the game can break. It could break in like 100 different ways. So like
the fish at the beach at the soon as you
that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
you just get like 100 water, and then you're just like, oh, I have like 150 attack now, where everybody else in the game has like 7.
It's
water, and you can turn tents into Curaga.
Yeah, tents into Curaga. As soon as you get Siren, which is like the second boss in the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Curaga is like junctions to hit points better than anything else. So you have 4,000 hit points with everybody by the time you get to Timber.
I'm like every now and again like shiftily looking at Alex while we're talking about this and being like, oh Alex, what do you think? Like, I don't know shit. I can't wait till we do 8 because I'm gonna be like, what did you do here, Alex? Like, because you could have done anything. Like,
I'm excited to do 8 because I'm wondering if I'm just gonna do like 2 playthroughs simultaneously. Where I'm like, in this playthrough, I just play through it normal. Whatever I get goes. In this other playthrough, I'm not leveling up at all, and I'm focusing strictly on AP.
In this other one, I immediately fucking card modded the Quistis card into 100 Samantha souls and sold them for max gil in the first town.
I think so. I probably played through 8, maybe 5 or 6 times, like to completion, and all 5 times I played it, I've never turned cards into. I've always finished the game with every card in the game. I've never actually turned any of the cards into the fucking awesome shit that you could turn the cards into.
That's awesome. I'm usually the type who will have like 9 elixirs and never use them at all because I'm such a hoarder. But when it comes to FF8, I'm just like, oh, the Zell card? Yeah, I'm going to use that to eventually get like the best weapon for Squall on the first disc.
I think Laguna turns into like 10 Holy Wars, which is just like complete invincibility for the whole party for multiple turns. Like you can just start throwing them at the beginning of Ultimation, be like, I will take 0 damage this whole time.
It's insane.
Anyway,
we're not playing 8.
Yeah, we're not playing 8. I'm so sorry, Alex. This is on the recording now. Yes, we edited it. Okay.
Be a lot cooler if we were.
Hopefully we can have that same conversation in like a year or 2 years after you guys play
8. Win indeed. So we're back from break.
We played lots of Blitzball.
Played lots of Blitzball. Had a U.S. election. God,
Seymour won again.
That joke's either going to age really well or
really poorly, depending on what happens.
What, did Joe go the far plane? Is that what's going on? And so now we're stuck with 4 more years of Seymour.
I'm so worried. Me and Carl looking at each other.
Yeah, so...
anyway.
By the time you're hearing this, you're either...
Yeah, you'll either...
very upset or... only mostly upset.
yeah.
A little peek behind the curtain. Because of the recent curfews in Philadelphia, we had to cut last session like short and break it up into 2 days. And for some reason, we thought it would be a good day to wait until Tuesday, election day, to do the rest. So we like last time we were like kind of like having fun and just like enjoying it and stuff. And now we're just like, oh my god, I haven't eaten anything at all today, and I'm filled with nothing but stress.
Well, nothing to take the stress out like a good boss battle.
Ooh.
But first we're doing some bushwhacking.
Yes. Yeah. So
That's what dads love to do.
as soon as we try to walk by the save sphere into the next area, Oren stops the party and he's like, "Oh wait!" And he recognizes that this is a place he's been before, and he's like, "Oh, there's something back here," and he like hacks the fuck away at some trees.
It's like a downed tree too. It's not just like, some vines or anything. It's like literally just like an enormous tree trunk that he just like whoopah and just like fucking gets rid of it.
And he fucking rolls through it too.
Yeah.
And like Titus and Una are both like, Oren, and he's like, "No, it's back here," and just like rips through it. Oh,
He's like, "It won't take long," and he starts fucking
he just starts going at it.
We're gonna take a detour. We'll get there sooner.
What a fucking legend.
This place.
Yeah, so we enter into this clearing in the woods, right? And like, oh God, how would you describe it? There's like
it's exactly looks like the tree from the vision that Titus had when he was swimming after Sin.
It kind of does, yeah.
Looks like the same tree
Yeah, you're probably right.
that we saw them ghosts at.
Yeah.
That you either saw the spooky kid, your manager.
Is there a name for like a clearing with like water in a forest?
Probably. I haven't looked at that map in a while.
What's a forest oasis? This is a forest oasis.
I would call it a meadow with a pond.
There's a meadow with a pond.
If the listener is familiar with Twilight Princess, Legend of Zelda, this looks like all of the like springs or whatever that you like meet like some of the spirits. I don't know. I forget how that game goes.
Yeah, it's like a spring.
It's like the spring in Kakariko Village.
So Titus says, "This place, it's just water, isn't it?" And Oren says, "This is what spheres are made of. It absorbs and preserves people's memories."
Was he just talking about water, like talking about the Blitzball sphere?
Well, yeah, he is. And so I was like,
Blitzball spheres are made. Like,
I would imagine that we like go into the woods and you're just like, this is where VHSs come from. It's just like a pond full of like that tape or the magnetic tape.
Oh, I was talking about like, the literal like Blitzball swimming pool.
Oh no!
I was talking about like what's water, Oren? To explain to you water. Well, Titus,
Titus,
you know the thing you swim in. Like,
So I think if I'm not wrong, it's kind of like, to use one of Curtis's old phrases, it's kind of like solid water, but like not quite ice. I think they're like standing on it.
It looks like they're standing on it.
I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that.
No, it looks like they are standing on it.
But yeah, it's not like ice, but it's like has the properties of ice, if that makes sense.
Well,
also, a sphere is not made of this. A sphere is made out of equidistant points from a circle in three-dimensional space. So eat shit, Oren.
How dare you?
But it looks like we are like walking on the surface of the water because of vines or stuff on the ground.
Yeah,
that are kind of holding us up. I think it's implied. I don't know.
It's magic.
It's like a fairy fountain.
I like literally nothing else is said, and then just a boss battle starts.
Oh yeah.
Just jello.
It's chaos from Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah. They do explain it though in lore, which is pretty cool. Aaron says fiends are also attracted to these places.
Going to make out point and like, well, bears come here too.
So there's a ball of jello that we fight now.
It's speaking of spheres.
Speaking of spheres, we fight a boss whose outside is a set of all points equidistant from its juicy center.
Lord forgive me.
Yo, it's a gusher.
Lord forgive me, but I'm about to make another Zelda reference. It looks like the like silver scale from Ocarina of Time that helps you like breathe underwater a little longer.
Oh yeah. No. You mean a bubble?
Yes.
Anyway, this is Spheromorph.
It's
spheres in the name.
Spheromorph.
Yes.
Spheromorph.
Sarah Morph.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's like a little puzzle boss.
I really liked this fight.
Yeah, I did too. I really enjoyed this fight. Justin, what do you feel about this fight?
I like it. It's I think the first time I played it, it took me maybe 2 turns, and it's like, okay, I get it. And then it's cake. It's a really, really easy boss once you figure out the mechanics to it.
Yeah, it took me a little bit, like, I mean, not a long time, but like, there's a little bit of experimentation, I think, trying to figure out the mechanics, which is fun because like there's no timer on you or anything, and it kind of just like lets you play around.
Yeah, the stakes feel pretty low.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that it also calls the one move, it's called elemental shift. So it's like,
yeah.
Hey, this is happening.
It puts on its blinker before it turns right. It's like,
What was that Pokemon in the Game Boy Advance ones where that like changes depending on the weather? It changes its type.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forget what it is. Eevee? No, it's not
Pikachu. Yeah.
Anyway,
Eevee.
it's like
Pikachu.
that.
God,
Yeah,
I care about Pokemon, so I'm gonna look this up while Carl says whatever.
I can like see the thing, but I can't think of the name. But I did what I do at the beginning of like any boss fight, and whatever one of my teammates has like scope, I'm like, oh, gotta throw him in there and see what I'm dealing with. And so I pull in Waka, and then I see boss Spheromorph, immune to sensors, and I was like, God damn it. I was like, I really want to know what this thing's weak again, so I can just unload.
I was kind of
Lulu
hoping
on him.
that too.
Yeah,
But
there's a good reason why it's immune to sensors.
Is there?
Yeah, I mean, because that would give away the puzzle.
Oh, okay. I was like looking for like an
It'd be
lore.
really long, like if this then this.
But yeah, you can figure it out by attacking it, right? So here's the thing. So it doesn't take damage from physical attacks, right? Or it can, but it's like
it's very minimal.
it's like 3 or 4 damage on a
Yeah,
attack,
I'm not sure if I was just doing minimal damage or I had like an elemental weapon. I can't remember which it was, but it's like it'll take a little bit of damage and then it'll immediately counterattack with a pretty heavy like
a middle tier spell.
Yeah, like a middle tier magic attack.
Right. I was thinking about 400 damage, I think, from each of those, maybe a little bit more. So like not the worst.
I used Magic Break like immediately with Orin. I think that cuts down on his counterattacks.
I didn't even think about doing that. That's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I was just like, because a lot of this boss fight is just testing the water.
Yeah.
Literally. So I would just test with Orin using Magic Break, so every time it counterattacked, it was weaker.
Nice.
Oh, that's a really good strategy.
Really
Holy shit.
But yeah, so it'll counterattack, and the type of magic that it casts on you, it is weak versus the opposite, right?
Yeah, it changes its element.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how you kind of like suss out what element it currently is weak to. And I will say that elemental weapons do make an effect, because I attacked with Titus once and it healed him, and I was like, fuck.
And you're like, well, I know what it's
I know what it isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I guess that's really about it. I mean,
so
it has,
when you do your first attack, I think Lulu gives it away. She says like it absorbs all magic attacks.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said that, but and so it will just heal itself if you don't hit it with the weakness that it currently has.
It can also deal physical damage to you, though.
Yes, true.
Right.
Turns itself into a little block and tries to smash.
Yeah, so
it's very Looney Toony,
like
and it turns itself into an anvil and drops it on your head.
Yeah.
So it does like a single attack, a single target attack that's like somewhat damaging. Like this boss really isn't that bad.
I used Lulu to increase everyone's evasion, so it helped a little bit too.
God, Alex with all the God Gamer strats over here.
But sometimes it attacks with like the same thing, but it attacks all 3 at the same time.
I was gonna say, but sometimes it does press, where it stretches itself out into a big wide sheet and then falls on everybody, and that does hellacious damage. I think it might be gravity-based damage, actually.
Oh, that
it's
would
like
make sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
Lavada?
What's this guy's name? Spheromorph.
It's not like what was it, Sephiroth?
Yeah.
I just remember when Curtis was talking about this episode, he was like, yeah, we're going to go until like just after the Spheromorph fight. And I was just like, we get to fight Sephiroth in this episode? And he was like, Spheromorph. And I was like, Sephiroth? And I just like kept like going back.
Animorphs.
This is the type of boss fight that I love, where I'm like, when I finally figured it out without looking anything up, I felt smart as shit, even though it's pretty obvious. It's like only difficult the first couple of like back and forth turns on your first playthrough, and then you're just like, oh, I just know how to beat this forever instantly now.
But yeah, my technique was just like test it with Orin, the Magic Break, and then have someone kind of constantly healing, because you're gonna it took me a while to figure out that it was absorbing all his attacks.
Right.
So I had someone just kind of making sure everyone's healed up on spells.
Yeah, my strategy was pretty much just use focus with Lulu each turn. Like, because I was like, I'm not going to attack with her, and I'm not going to attack with her and risk like healing it. So I'm going to just try and get her to max damage. And then like I would attack with Titus, And then I think I also like I think I tried delay attack, but it didn't work against him.
It doesn't work on anything. Delay attack, delay attack is like the best in theory, but like it doesn't work against anything.
Yeah, so it's just like Final Fantasy 1 on NES. Like
like every speed kill in it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Press does 50% damage to all your allies.
50%.
50%.
So it just takes away half your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mean.
It's a cruel.
So it can't kill you.
But yeah, it probably can't kill you.
I guess not.
Well, that's pretty much what gravity magic does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It changes your mass.
Based on a percentage.
It changes your math.
It lets you think of it like how much blood you have in your system. It's like, I'm losing weight.
Ooh, I would like to say that I beat it with Lulu's limit break or overdrive.
Oh hell yeah,
where
which
I was
is
able to
really
cast
good.
the same thing over and over and do so much fucking damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, using Waka's overdrive would probably be also pretty good unless you fuck up.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
And then it would be really bad.
But after it dies, it kind of like melts away.
Yeah.
And it like leaves a sphere behind,
Yeah.
or like one of those recording spheres.
One of the spheres that like that Yuna found with Jizzle in it.
Yeah, one of the jizz spheres, right? And
The jizz tapes.
and then a dialogue box appears over top of it and says obtained Jext sphere. So like, ooh,
Is
some
Jext
plot.
Possessive?
Jects. Yeah.
I think mine said ject singular.
No, I think it is apostrophe. At least
Oh,
in
it's
my,
possessive, baby.
In my version of it, which is very Demon's Souls, which is a terrible title.
Yeah, demons.
Oh, it is Jext sphere.
Jex Sphere.
Also, we had a
you-
lot of
if you-
experience from this battle too.
If you have a lisp, this is a very difficult thing to say.
And level.
Soul of the demons.
Did you guys get a level 2 key spheres?
Uh,
I forget.
We'll say.
I got
yes.
a shit ton of AP.
Yeah, there's so much.
I did. I got 2 level key
Cool.
key spheres and a yellow bangle, which I'm pretty sure I already like crafted to make one.
Nice, sick. I love it.
Now what? We got
So-
we got a Jext sphere. It's like
Somebody else do the cutscene.
Once you get the Jects sphere, Waka says,
Whoa, this is old. Don't know if you can play it
It's
back.
like laser disc.
yeah. Orin just knows what it is automatically. He's just like, Ject left it here 10 years ago. Play it back.
DJ, spin that shit.
Wait, so he just
and,
knows like off is like, oh yeah, Jext just left his ear. So he's like, really into geocaching.
Dude, I haven't thought about
Obviously, he
geocaching.
knew what was back here.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
that's
Yeah,
the
like
reason
this.
why he
This is basically like the etching like Orin plus Jext 5 ever. Carved into the tree.
Yeah, that's why I see what he wants to show Titus. A plus J with a little heart around it. Like,
I'm really
Guardians forever.
I'm really curious as to why they included the line of Waka being like, "Whoa, this thing's old," because Orin's immediately like, "Jack left this here 10 years ago."
oh
And it's
yeah.
Like most VHS tapes I find, I'm not like, "Whoa, this is so old," and it's like well over fucking 10 years
Yeah.
old. But whatever.
This is like
I can't imagine they
Betamax or whatever.
Yeah, I can't imagine the like Machina technology is advancing at too quick a clip in fucking Spira.
Seriously.
Sorry. Anyway,
a small interesting tidbit. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but in between Orin's 2 lines of saying Jeff, Jesus Christ.
Jeff.
Jeff's sphere.
I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Jesk.
And
It's so good. Not his former lover or whatever.
yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, so in between the 2 lines that Orin speaks, if you look at Lulu, her lips move almost as if she was supposed to say something and they remove the audio or
really?
I don't know. Yeah.
I see that in my screenshots. I definitely didn't notice that, but I'm wondering if it's like either
Yeah,
she's supposed to say it.
like her lips clearly move up and down a few times, and then Orin says, "Play it back." So,
In my screenshots, it looks like she's just gasping, which would be a pretty reasonable thing to do
I
in
think
this situation.
she is. So there's actually a few times throughout this game I've noticed where like, yeah, people's mouths are moving and there's no sound coming out. But if I like go, because I have access to all the voice files, if you look in the Japanese files, which are the same name, you'll there's sometimes will just be a sound of them just like grunting or doing onomatopoetic sound.
Ooh.
That
Interesting.
isn't like in the script. They just forgot to localize, so they just like left it blank.
Interesting.
Onomatopoetic is the way that that Bora talks.
Bora.
The musician.
Oh, right.
of the musician race. Yeah, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
okay.
We can talk about what's in the sphere now.
Don't pull that race
We
card
are-
next
we
time
are-
we play a show.
We are ready to play it back.
We're basically in essentially a home video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like even though it's a sphere, it's like totally just supposed to be like a Super 8 like home video that like
Yeah.
Jack was doing. Like, we're on tour, baby.
Bob Saget's here, and it's playing that theme song and everything.
Everywhere you look.
What?
Is that the? Wait, we were talking about family matters.
No, I was talking about America's Funniest Home
So
Videos.
anyway,
It's fine.
so the person holding the camera is Jecht, and so we don't see him. But
No, yeah, we don't know that yet, but he is
Sin
talking,
himself.
and we're in like kind of like cathedral-y looking area, I would say. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of ornate and nice.
well,
and
in the
there's
background, you can see like a city too.
yeah, you can see like the skyline, and
I'm assuming this is like
we
a
see-
Xanarkan temple. Temple.
Temple.
of sort.
We'll
It's
see.
just based on like the skyline. It has the kind of very Xanarkonian looking.
We'll see. We'll see.
but
We'll see.
very well could be.
We'll see where that is. Carl,
I'm
you
just-
son of a bitch! I didn't even know. Sorry.
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing, given the context of this scene. But
Given
yeah,
the architecture.
No, that's genius. I didn't even notice you said it.
we see someone who I think we've seen before, but dressed
Yeah.
very ornately, has like
Yes.
long hair like shampoo from Ranma 1/2, and behind him is a young and fine looking
A
Orin.
young Orin.
Young lad.
Before we get into talking about like Orin, old Orin cool as shit. Young Orin fucking annoying.
I think I'm just such a like simp for Orin at this point that I didn't even notice.
No, yeah.
He's way more symmetrical.
So we hear a young Orin saying, "What are you taking?" And Jet goes,
Well, you said it was going to be a long trip. We'll be seeing a lot of neat things, right? So I thought I'd record it all in this to show to my wife and kid, you know.
and Orin like visibly like like upset is like, "This is no pleasure cruise."
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
and then Jack announces who we're with, and he says, "Hey, Braska."
Braska, this is Yuna's father.
Yeah, and he says, "Ain't this supposed to be a grand occasion? Where are the cheering fans, the crying women?" And
okay.
Braska just says, "This is it."
Yeah. So this is Braska's group with his guardians getting ready to go out on the pilgrimage where they actually beat Sin and brought the calm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're leaving from this giant temple city, and yeah, it is like nobody's out there doing it, right? Like
Yeah.
Jack's like he's used to the Blitzball life, right?
Yeah.
Like Blitz is life, Jack.
Yeah, and Braska goes on and he just says, "Too many goodbyes. People think twice about leaving." And then Jack is just like, if you say so.
Yeah.
Well, it better be a lot more colorful when we come back. A parade for Braska, vanquisher of sin.
And much like Titus, who
Anytime
also knows,
it's like, it's going to be dope when we do this and everyone loves us.
yeah,
It's the
Braska
same
just
sort
like
of tone.
is silent for a moment and just goes, "We should go. Day will break soon."
Yeah.
So I want to ask: is Jecht is not Sin yet in this time?
We'll just have to see, won't we?
So, yeah, because just because like first like Jecht became Sin and then so on and so forth, but no,
Yeah.
Jecht supposedly went to fight Sin.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Did they elect a new Sin?
But yeah, now we're outside of, I think, a travel agency.
Yeah, the
It like pans to a different.
it goes to a different scene, right?
Yeah.
Pants. It's been so long since we fucking did it. Everything's a pan.
You say pants?
Pants.
This is obviously some sort of compilation videos. It's not just
Yeah.
obviously, this is a second clip that's all just kind of glued together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you're watching an old Christmas video and then all of a sudden it's like shifts to a graduation party because like you just used the
Right.
same tape because there was still some tape on
Right.
there.
Then it shifts to an episode of South Park. You set your VHS to record because you're going to bed early.
If Jack does anything like my dad was, this Jack Sphere says on it, it's like, "Dads, do not tape over. Important Flyers game." and then I put that in the VCR and it's like half of an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Or if you're literally me, it is video of your like middle school graduation that is then interrupted by the fucking Toonami movie showing of Sailor Moon R or whatever.
Yo, hell
where I was
yeah.
like, I gotta watch this, but I won't be here in time. And then mom finds it one day and she's very upset.
I hope no one under like 28 listens to this podcast. I'm like, what the fuck are these boomers talking about?
I'm very much in the Riku camp that memories are just memories. They don't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we are at a travel agency, though. Like one of Ren's travel agencies.
Yeah.
I want to see young hot Rin.
Hell yeah, that's a good point. But we just kind of see Jecht like standing off to the like side of the screen and Auron standing sort of in the middle. And Braska says, Auron, could you stand closer to him?
Yeah, I know.
And then like Auron walks over to Jecht and
But like not even that close,
Yeah,
though.
like,
They didn't even
Wait,
walk
so
that close together.
Braska's holding the spear right now.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is really funny thinking of the Pope like with like a fucking like, all right, you get closer.
Get closer.
yeah, it's like when you're on tour. Like sometimes someone has control of the Instagram account. The
Yeah.
other time it's
I like it. Auron and Braska, or not Auron and Braska, Auron and Jecht are two good bros for sitting apart from each other because they're not gay.
Like, no, they're socially distancing.
Okay.
let's see.
Sins toxins.
Oh yeah, we can actually, if you like are able to read the weird language that we talked about, like the weird it actually says Lake Macalania.
Lake Macalania.
Like
Yeah.
Macarena.
That's the one.
And and then Braska's like, I guess, satisfied with this shot, and he says, "Good, that should do it."
Even though Auron's like facing away from the camera,
Yeah.
looking real dramatic.
Yeah, not even looking at the camera.
And Jecht's like, what's the matter? Afraid I'll bite? Because he won't even stand close to him.
Yeah.
And Auron is just like, Jecht. Because he's like such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that Auron's arm is not just like being lazy in a sling this time around.
Yeah.
It's still out of like
It's-
his cloak ready for action because I guess he's like maybe more left his dominant arm for like sword fighting, but
Which was the style at the time.
yeah, he just has the one sleeve down. still.
Auron was tying a jug to his belt, which was the style at the time.
And then so Jecht like does that thing where he like, rolls his neck and like rubs his neck or whatever. And he says,
Braska, you should take one too. It'll make a great gift for little Yuna.
Very
Aw.
cute.
and like I was like, oh, these are both dads. So
Yeah.
they're bonding over a
That-
thing. And Auron's just being
That's why he's
salty.
miserable, because he's just like, I don't relate to this. Like,
Dude, no, what I love about like young Auron, but also hate him, is like he's such a fucking stick in the mud.
hell yeah.
He like won't pose for the picture, and he's like, "Stop taking this stupid video. This is serious.
Yeah.
we have to be serious, guys."
I mean, we kind of talk about how serious and to the point Auron always is. And when he's younger, it would make sense that he's actually the one on this pilgrimage. He's not just like coming in as like, so like
Right.
being like, oh, I did this before and I'm going to help you or whatever. Like, he's like, no, this is my mission and we need to fucking take this shit seriously because people are dying.
yeah, and he actually says here, he says, "We shouldn't be wasting our time like this." And Jecht says, "What's the hurry, man?" And Auron just goes,
Let me tell you what the hurry is.
"I love it."
Well, I do also like because we're now seeing Titus's dad and Yuna's dad, and the fact that they're kind of like buddies also.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are kind of goofing off and getting distracted and like
Yeah.
stuff like that, while Auron's still like the one trying to keep everyone
I know.
focused.
It's still,
It's a
yeah.
nice little parallel, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
And I actually like,
This whole scene is awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
this whole scene was so like, I don't know, refreshing for lack of a better term.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Rewarding. It was so rewarding to watch the scene because of
Yeah.
everything you just mentioned. How you get to see, I don't know, it helps to fill in so much of the gaps, not just of the story, but also the relationships of the characters. And
Yeah.
their parents, obviously, which we already knew, did the thing together. So I don't know, it was kind of cool to see like so much story backlog, I guess, history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In such a small little cutscene. I don't know. I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean, nothing really happens in the cutscene. It's just characterization of them, right? Like, it's,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it's kind of just like heartwarming too, because like everything that we've heard about them has kind of just been like secondhand, and
Yeah.
especially Jecht. Like we haven't heard too
Jecht
much,
is such
but
a
it's like,
fucking enigmatic character up until this point. You know what I mean?
And like he's doing this, and he's like, I want to show this to my wife and my kids. So even though Titus feels a particular way about Jecht, it's like Jecht was doing this, and he's like, you know what? Like I can't wait to show this to my son and show him what I've been doing.
Yeah,
and this
right,
is a
right,
cool thing. So I'm happy to like I'm gonna do this for him, even though it's like there's more pertinent shit to be doing. It's like a lighthearted thing where it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna show my kids this.
Yeah, we actually finally get to see like Jecht without Titus's like big kind of lens over everything.
Yeah. And this is gonna like sound a little weird or whatever, but like out of the two, I feel like I would much rather go on a fucking trip with Jecht than Titus.
Well, 100%. Yeah.
Because like Jecht seems to be having a great old time, and like isn't even standoffish with like Oren's being kind of a little bit, like I said, it's like in the mud, and he's like, no, have a good time, buddy. Like we're together on this thing. It's you and me versus the world.
Yeah.
So he's like being the amicable one. You know what I mean? He's the one who wants everybody to come together.
Yeah.
He's also he's like, you see a lot of Titus's current characteristics in that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is really cool. Kind of the unifying figure. Also, who seems a little bit out of his like in over his head. Like he doesn't really quite understand what he's doing.
Jecht is in over his head in the way that like he's just kind of a lovable buffoon about it. Like he isn't like necessarily complaining about it or anything. He's just like, well, whatever.
I feel like he's totally capable of like what's going on, but also at the same time like totally oblivious to what's actually going on. So he's like, oh, this is fun and cool, so I like it. And it's like, you should probably take a deeper like moment to like think about this shit.
Well, Oren says a line later that I don't want to. I mean, it's kind of it's like literally word for word what Oren says later, but like you can clearly see it just from watching that video that Jecht already, at least at this point in the pilgrimage, had already kind of just accepted what it is for what it is.
Yeah.
As we're like Titus because they're just leaving in that first scene, and then without spoiling where they were leaving from.
It's okay. I already did that. I'm pretty sure.
It's not very far. Like the location that they're on
in the
second video is not that far.
That's true. That's true, actually.
From where they left from.
That's true. So I didn't even think about that.
Compare that. Like, we are way further into the voyage or the pilgrimage than they are.
That's true. And I didn't think about that.
At the, Titus is still like, doesn't really, he's like not really sure of much. And,
yeah.
Us as the player, we're kind of in the same boat. But like, Jecht had already like, fuck it, this is what it is. This is I'm here to do this job and whatever.
But then we cut back from the video, and we see Titus, and he says, "What's the point? He wasn't on some pleasure cruise."
Doesn't he use just the exact same word that someone else did?
Yeah, Oren literally just said that.
Yeah.
He's like, this is some pleasure cruise.
It's like there's this one gag in the Venture Brothers where like Dr. Orpheus, who's like a sorcerer character,
he's basically Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's basically Doctor Strange. He's talking to like Cerberus, who is voiced by H. John Benjamin, and it's like it's his master who just appeared in the form, so it's like some like demon deity or something, and he's just talking to him, and he's just like, all I know is that I know nothing. And then H. John Benjamin just goes, oh, way to take something I said to you like a year ago.
But yeah, so and then Riku says, I think there's more.
Yeah.
And then we go back into the video, and now we see a third scene, and we're in the location that we're in right now.
Yeah.
Like this is the little meadow with a pond in it, right? Like
the wet atrium.
This is the wet atrium. And it's just Jecht sitting in front of the sphere on the ground, right? Like he's sat the camera on the ground and is just sitting in front of it. He's doing Spira's first vlog.
Have you seen Annihilation?
Is that the one that goes meow?
Yeah, the Oscar Isaac and Natalie Portman.
I haven't seen it.
Anyway, this is big Annihilation vibe. There's like a video of like Oscar Isaac speaking to like basically leaving a video of himself, and it feels exactly like this.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
It's fucking crazy.
Okay. I'm gonna watch that movie. But anyway, so Jecht's speaking to the camera, and he's kind of like quiet, like he's
he's not
jovial.
Different. Yeah, he's different than he normally is.
Yeah, and he says, "Hey, if you're sitting there watching this, that means you're stuck in Spira like me. You might not know when you'll get back home, but you better not be crying." And I was like, "Oh, damn!"
Like, oh, he said the line.
Yeah. Although I guess I'd understand, but you know what? There's a time when you have to stop crying and move on. You'll be fine. Remember, you're my son. And I was like, that's good.
Hell yeah.
Like, he kind of like, you can see why Titus gets mad at him in that, too.
As like a young kid. Like, oh, yeah, he's real rough on me, but like, that's just the way he handles his emotions.
Yeah, but with that last line of like, you're my son, like, you'll be fine, you're my son, it's more so of him like, being like, no, you got this shit because of this. He's not being like, you have to live up to my rep. He's like, I know you have it in you. It's just his weird way of saying it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then he says,
you can't do it, kid.
Yeah. And he says, never mind. I'm no good at these things.
Yeah.
And he just stands up and turns the camera off. He stands up and says, anyways, I believe in you. Be good. goodbye, and then turns the camera off.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, it turns off and it cuts back on where he's. It
Oh,
looks like,
does it?
it looks like he's like holding the camera now. Like he came back, but didn't actually like.
Yeah, it's like
bother setting
pointing
again.
up. It's like pointing
He's
up
like,
at the
"All
sky
right,
a
you
little
go-
bit.
He's
So
like,
he like tried twice to say what he wants to say.
he basically, I'm gonna get this last word in, but I'm not gonna bother setting it up again.
Yeah.
He just
Right.
wanted to get the audio in.
Oh, it's very cute.
Yeah, it's
not
very
cute.
good.
Cute's not the right word.
It's very like
Heartwarming.
Yeah.
It's very touching.
Yeah.
I got a good like emotional response from this where I'm like, oh, I really like this part.
Dude. So I feel like this scene, it like primes you to be emotionally like vulnerable, and then Oren right here just comes in and
Yeah.
fucking sticks you with it, right?
Yeah. Do you want to take it away on that one, Justin?
It then fades back to Titus, and he said that he sounded almost serious, but it was too late. And then Oren says he was serious. Jecht had already accepted his fate. And
Yeah.
Titus says, his fate? And Oren goes, Jecht, he was always talking about going home to Xanarkand. That's why he took all those pictures, to show them to you when he returned. But as he journeyed with us, he came to understand Spira and Braska's resolve. It happened gradually, but Jecht changed. He decided he would join Braska and his fight against sin.
Which rules.
And Titus says,
Yeah.
it's so good. And Titus says, so then he gave up going home? And Oren just says, that was his decision.
Yeah, and then Titus gives us a little narration and says, my old man, he knew there was no way to go back home to Xanarkand. He wanted to go home, but knew he couldn't. He couldn't go on until he accepted it. Even if he had found a way back, I don't think he would have left his friends behind before completing their journey. And then like Titus kind of like peps up, right?
Yeah, and like even before like saying all of that, he said like, I guess I understand, because he's also kind of like seeing this parallel with what his father was saying, and it's like an exact mirror of what his situation is right now. So he's also
Exactly.
kind of coming to grips with the gravity of all this.
I think
now.
so. I think seeing his dad be like to the point where he kind of has realized that he can't go home, and then like focusing on something larger than himself maybe is
Yeah.
kind of like giving him inspiration to do the same.
Yeah, because we've always seen Jack kind of being, tooting his own horn every chance he got because he's kind of used to being a superstar. But now now he's like just like Titus being put in a situation where like all that means nothing.
Right.
And now he's kind of like, again, coming to terms with him just being stuck in this situation.
Right. But then we get another tutorial essentially that says Jecht spheres that document Jecht's journey are spheres that document Jecht's journey are hidden all over Spira. Defeating the spheromorph has unlocked the seals that once bound the spheres. Find them. Which, what the fuck ever. You don't have to lore it. You don't have to lore everything.
Yeah.
You defeated the boss of DRM.
Yeah, the spheromorph controlled all region locking in the world. Oh, God. Anyway, in the Japanese, the spheromorph is called Sony Entertainment. And Oren learns a new overdrive right here.
Shooting star. No matter who you are.
Right on, shooting star.
I like how all three of us went with a different song reference involving Shooting Star. I think I like Curtis's the best, but I also really like Alex's.
What was Alex's? Oh, God. I like Alex's better, too.
Shout outs to the pillows. The pillows fucking win.
Anyway,
so we got
and then
we got one
Oren
more
gives
little
us
scene,
the fucking gut punch here. So we're allowed to walk around now, right? But there's nothing to do in this room.
Yeah.
Oren's waiting for you.
Oren's waiting to fucking emotionally devastate me here.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to do it?
Yeah, I can take this.
Okay, do it.
So,
Kill me.
Kill me. You walk through, and then Oren just says, "Wait," and Titus is like, "Yeah," and Oren just says,
"Hammer time."
Jecht loved you.
Oh my God!
And Titus like kind of doesn't believe it at first. He goes, "Oh, come on, please," and he says, "He just didn't know how to express it." He said, and then Titus is like, "Enough about my old man, okay?" And Oren just goes, "I just thought you should know."
Yeah, and Titus goes, "Okay," and then after Oren walks away, he just goes, "Thanks."
Yeah,
and I was like, like
he's embarrassed. I think that should be emotionally vulnerable right now. So he's just which is why kind of reason when he says, "Oh, come on, please," like I couldn't tell if it was disbelief or just like, "Come on, Oren, not right now."
That's how I took it. That's how I took it. That he was like, "Oh God, come on, Oren," because Oren just delivers it with a straight face. He just goes,
just very
he
Oren.
loved you.
Yeah, just very Oren of him.
Yeah, and like
the
that's
only way you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
it
dude.
rules, dude.
I feel like me in that situation, I would have fucking broke down crying.
Oh, for sure,
"Ah."
100%.
Like, because it's so dry. It's like after the emotional scene and everything, you're just primed and ready, but it's over, and you're like, okay, Orange
you're
gonna
like
tell
made
me,
it through. That I got a little choked up, but it's fine.
but it's
and then
fine.
It's just like,
and then
"Blah."
Orange is like, hey, hold on. By the way, your dad loves you. Like, Oren.
Emotional edging.
Oren, you son of a bitch.
This part was probably one of the best written and directed, I guess, parts of the game, at least up until this point in the game.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, like I said earlier, it's so, it fills in so much without filling in much, really. It just, I don't know, it's so satisfying without like really advancing the plot.
Right.
It gives gives everything kind of an emotional context because we've only understood Jack through Titus's and vaguely through like Yuna's kind of perspective.
Yeah. And like
we got to see Braska for the first time. I think this is the first time that we got to actually see him, right?
I feel like we've seen something of him before.
I think in a
at
unit,
the far plane.
Or in I think like
okay, then you can just cut that out.
Well, no, it's the first time we've heard him talk.
Yeah, it's like the first time we've actually had the characterization. Like Yuna was looking at him in the far plane.
Yeah, and we've seen his
there might have been a
statues.
flashback and like
statues.
Yeah,
and
we've seen statues, but
he does look like a part of the council from the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah, he does.
His
Jedi Council.
I didn't notice it until looking at my screenshot like during this, but he definitely has the character Shampoo from the anime Ranma 1/2 has her like hair loopies, and it's very good. Shampoo is like my favorite character from that show, so
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you should.
Oh well,
it's extremely good.
Okay.
But I think that's about it. Right?
That's all I got for this episode.
The only thing I'll say, because I guarantee we're gonna forget by next week, is in the very next area we're outside of a travel agency, the Lake Macalania one.
The very area we just saw in the sphere.
Yeah, exactly. And there's an Albed primer right outside.
Oh, okay.
So I know I'll probably like accidentally delete all of my screenshots or something and
so
not keep this one.
that,
So there is an Albed primer. It is 26, and the secrets of the Albed language are revealed. B equals P.
There's actually
both have emojis. So.
Have we not done B equals P? I feel like
I think we literally did P equals B.
Oh, okay.
But before we go to that screen, there is I found 15.
Yeah.
In the one we just which is
right. Yeah, I think
which is on that south right path.
Yeah.
We don't have to go that way now, but there's one just hidden behind a stone right there too.
Yeah.
Which I forget which one that one is.
I think I can pull that up. If you look at the mini map in the area that we were, it's actually like right across from Awaka where we saw him in the last area.
And he disappeared. He just moved to the next.
Yeah,
screen.
like I don't think we actually talked to him. We just saw him like walking. But it was Secrets of the Albed language revealed. U equals O. And then you at this point, like I got the Albed Kibangan. Definitely pronounced that right.
Oh, that's your level of Albed learning.
Sabagan. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I was thinking about, like you were just mentioning a second ago, Justin, that I had never really thought about, that like they were very early into their journey when they took the Macalania Lake one, but they would have passed this place already.
As soon as I said that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot because that doesn't make sense. But I was like, wait a minute.
I guess it does. Oh wait, no, it does.
I'm trying to think of the order of the game. If they're starting where
it does make sense.
Starting, is their end goal the same? Like going to the same place?
I think so, because this is my rationale for that. Macalania, we don't know this yet because we haven't been there, but it's not really a spoiler, so fucking whatever. Macalania Woods connects to like 5 different places, because if you remember, like Lucille and Elma stopped us from going somewhere, and Oren stopped us from going somewhere just now. Bavel is one.
That's probably where they came from, is from Bavel.
Yeah.
So where Yuna's dad's from.
So there's Bavel, Lake Macalania, Mount Gagazet.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's gonna be. There's a lot of places, but so I think it actually makes sense that they went from Bavel, where there's presumably a temple, to Lake Macalania, which would be the closest temple to them, and then to get to the next area, whether they went back toward the Thunder Plains or went to Mount Gagazet, they would have had to pass back through Macalania. So they would have had to actually pass through Macalania 3 times at least. So that third video where Jack is in front of that place it has actually an interesting weight to it now that I think about it, because he may have been, like, say he's gone to all the temples, like gone back to Besaid, and then came back toward Mount Gagazet to get to Xanarkand. We don't know. He could be one temple deep or like 4 or 5 temples deep into his journey.
That's true.
I'm kind of thinking of it as like you know, because it's like a video game, obviously the progress is going to be like different, but it's like, wow, we sure lucked out that we just happen to have the weakest fiends around our area that we could slowly build our way up in the same way that the cloister's difficulty, like it sucks that they got stuck at this one first and then, but
or
like,
it's like in Dragon Ball Z when Raditz shows up first. And the next guy is just barely still stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
Justin, thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thanks for the invite. Thanks for bringing me back on.
Of course, we love having
Dude,
you.
anytime, absolutely.
Have to come back for a future one, preferably FF9 or not 9. Well, I guess 9 too, but 8 for sure, because 8, 7, and 10 are the 3 that I played the most. So
really,
hell yeah,
probably hop into an 8 one without even having to do research or whatever. Probably
hell
be
yeah.
able to
dude, I feel like I could do a season of 8 right now without even playing it.
I'm right there with you. There's a lot that we would miss, obviously.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot in that game that.
God, there's so much. It's gonna be a disaster,
Yeah,
man.
we apologize in advance for. First of all,
I'm sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry. Every episode is just an episode about 8 with a little bit of 10 in it. we need to actually do the game, and then just like, so we can't do this anymore. Like.
Yeah.
The soul of the show is gonna like completely be deflated as soon as we finish it.
I know.
It's like,
No,
it's not
'cause
8 anymore.
Here's a pro strat where we're gonna be talking about like, you know, like whatever other game, like 12 or whatever. We'll be like, hey, remember that time in 8 when we talked about this?
never going away.
I know. Anyway,
so far I'm just like, this game needs more Machen.
Anyway, Macalania Woods, I'm gonna give it thumbs up. I like it.
Yeah, this is a really good area.
I don't know like why we like just recently have just started rating areas sort of where we talk about whether we like them or not.
Leave a Yelp review.
Yeah. I feel like that should become a segment of this podcast is we just like leave a Yelp review of every area. Like Macalania, like what is
I give it 4 game paddles out of 5.
I would
3.5 red butterflies.
Very good. No. I like it. I don't have any funny thing like that, but I would probably say like 3 out of 5. Or no, 3.5.
I think so far this might be like my favorite segment that we've done. Just with the emotion, like the emotional side.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean the woods themselves as the area and
I see.
Well,
pretty good.
Okay, with all the story elements, I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, I was thinking like just in terms of podcast episode.
Oh, okay.
I'll say 4 out of 5 if you don't do the butterfly chase bullshit.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 if you spend any time trying to do the butterfly chase.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the butterfly game sucks.
You gotta. I wish Kamari could just like equip like a net. Fucking does like a lunge jump.
Okay,
it's like Animal Crossing, so we can just go up to like Lulu and hit her on the head with it, and she gets mad.
This is gonna take
stomps off all angry.
This is gonna take no time at all. I apologize in advance or whatever, but I'm gonna get out a Spira map real quick, and let's just fill in the blanks of the places that we've been with ratings here. Besaid.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 10 out of 10.
Are we doing a 10 scale or a 5 scale?
Yeah, 10. It's Final Fantasy 10, baby.
We were just doing 5.
I'm gonna say 4. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay, Kilika.
Pre or post sin?
Got him.
2 out of 10. That place sucked. There was nothing to do. Everything was damaged.
I'm gonna say 3 out of 10. I'm gonna say 3 out of 10. I liked it. Luca.
Pretty cool.
Blitzball, baby. 10 out of 10.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Not huge on Luca.
Yeah, it's a little big.
It's the thing is like it feels big, but it's not. It's only like 4 screens.
Yeah.
And there's like nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can go to that diner and start a bar fight with some Ronzo.
That's fair. Mihan High Road.
Music. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm saying 5 out of 5. Mihan High Road's great.
Yeah, Mihan. Oh yeah. I was thinking Mushroom Rock Road.
Oh yeah, no, that's the next one. Mushroom Rock Road.
3 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5, yeah.
That's a hard 2.
A hard 2.
Gentleman's 2.
I like that you can ride the chocobos.
Jose.
What the fuck happened in Jose?
There's is just
I haven't been getting your opinion on this, Justin. I apologize.
I didn't know if I was, since this was involving previous episodes, I didn't know if I was involved in this discussion, so I was staying out of it.
Is it a cheat to do 0.5s out of 5? I
No,
feel like
not at all.
I feel like at that point it's just
That's why you use the 10 scale,
It's just an
baby.
out of 10 scale at that point. I feel like I have to
Do a
solid.
do a 0.3.
There's nowhere to eat. There was nowhere to sleep. There's someone crying.
Right. I had to deal
And
with
the
Donna.
puzzle was shit.
No, 2 out of 10. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2. Man, should I give it a 1?
Yeah.
No, it's 2. Dude, Jose Temple, 1 star. Bad. Don't like it.
Yeah, that place sucks. It's a dump.
I will. 1 star. 1 star for Jose. Fucking stance of at least 1/3 of the pod. There you go. Moonflow.
Moonflow was really good. I liked Moonflow.
Moonflow's great.
Can you describe your enjoyment of the Moonflow in a number?
No, you're asking for way too much. I'd say 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. No real threats.
I'm gonna say a 2.
It was nice.
I like Moonflow.
I'd like to rest there.
We count the shoot buff ride as the Moonflow.
Yeah.
It's like a little lazy river in at the water park in Disney. I liked it.
I'm
It's
actually
nice
glad that we have one area at least that we're like divergent opinion on or whatever, because I feel like we've been very equal on everything. No, I'm not a huge Moonflow fan, but Hands of the Pod seems to be pretty good.
If I lived near, I would just ride the shoot buff back and forth.
Yo, hell yeah! It's like riding the ferry.
Okay, Guado Salam.
I'm trying to answer this without sounding like Waka, but I'm gonna give it a 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Wasn't for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The food was fine.
Just walking around it is very confusing and disorienting.
I'm gonna say 3.
I was gonna say 3.
Here's the thing about Guado Salam. I'm gonna build it up to a 5, and then I'm gonna break it back down to a 3. Okay. It's a city inside of a tree. Automatic 5.
That's
that
pretty cool.
Fucking owns.
Makes you feel like a Smurf.
It looks like.
Do the Smurfs live in a tree? I don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
live in mushrooms.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
The Korok.
It's in a fucking tree. That's super fucking sick.
Yeah, that rules.
So 5 out of 5 already. Okay, now let's break it down. That was all the good things I have to say about it, but such a good thing that
It's
I'm okay
full
with
of
that.
racists and dead people.
I was gonna say Lord Seymour lives there, -1 point. Also, the dead are just right there, and they sometimes come out and haunt you. -1 point. 3 out of 5.
I will
Guado
say
Salam.
Seymour's Mansion's pretty dope, but I stand by with my whatever I gave it.
That looks like more like a community center.
Yeah,
It's true.
Thunder Plains.
10 out of 10, baby. Nothing wrong with that.
It sucked. That was like a 2.
I'm gonna say, okay, here I am.
2 out of what, Alex?
2 out of 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 1.5. I'm breaking my rule, and I'm gonna give it a 0.5. I'm gonna say the 0.5 is the dope banging music.
Yeah, that's
Music,
true.
hell yeah. I was waiting for somebody to
Yeah.
talk about the Thunder Plains.
No, wait,
music.
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a solid 2 because
Machen's there.
there's 2 things. Oh man, should it be a 3? No, it should be a 2. I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't want to go back because Machen will follow along. It's fine. Okay,
If it had no thunder, it'd be way higher.
it'd be so much higher.
But then it would also, why would you even go there?
I'm gonna say
Because we're going to fucking
That's
Macalania.
true.
yeah. Music. Also enjoyed the battles.
Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't like the battles? Okay,
No.
Battles are fine.
I
Not
can
super
do
exciting.
battles anywhere where lightning's not constantly hitting me.
Well, that's why it gets such a low score. though.
Directly after I
Yeah.
finish the battle.
Well-
Imagine if you're trying to recruit Yuffie, and every time you pull up the menu, she punched you in the dick instead of running away. That's kind of what Thunderplane felt like.
Yeah.
It's like I just want to get through this.
I do love that. Okay, well that's all the areas.
Are you guys still going back and forth between the old music and the remastered music?
Oh, I keep forgetting to compare them.
I keep forgetting that.
I have both. I just keep forgetting, but I do like most of the arranged music for the remaster.
I actually liked a lot, like most of the remastered music. However, since we just talked about Thunder Plains, I know it's an old episode at this point, but
It's fine.
that's the first time in the game where I got actually annoyed at the remastered music because it
Really?
was like, so different.
Interesting.
At least to me. I mean, it's got the same motifs and stuff as the original, but I don't know. It's just it wasn't that the same. It was
Didn't
it
have
was- I
that
don't know,
same
it was
zazz.
too different.
I'm gonna listen to I just want to hear. It's just so we only. So here's the original version. Oh yeah, it's more MIDI piano.
Yeah.
I actually like this one. I think more.
That's the
It
new
has
one.
More, this is the old one. It's more synthy.
Yeah.
We're on our way to Timber, baby.
Yeah. God, Carl, I love you.
I thought you were gonna be like, God, Carl, shut the fuck up.
No.
Anyway,
Curtis is the first person in my life who has never said shut the fuck up about Final Fantasy VIII.
God, I'm like, if we went to jail together, like that.
you guys
It's like the ending of Seinfeld or whatever, where they like put them all in prison. They just put me in Carl.
That's how the Every FFF podcast is gonna end.
That's the season. Yeah, that's the series finale. Yeah,
we're all defendants, and every single witness is just the past guests.
Yeah.
But, God damn it, you haven't beaten 10 yet. I forgot. Never mind. Don't worry about what I just said. Anyway,
did you say something? I don't even think I
dude.
heard.
Sometimes Alex, like, I think he just has a good sense of like
where
story
narratives. Yeah, like how directing and how writing works. And so a lot of times he'll just be like, haha, here's a thing. And I'll be like, it's like he wrote the game himself.
Circling back to the discussion about flipping back and forth through the arranged and the original, I completely forgot that I could do that, and completely forgot that I put it on original this entire time.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I didn't even hear the arranged at all, but I heard that and I was like, that does not sound familiar.
I've just been using the original soundtrack the whole time. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a crotchety old man. Even though like I'd never really played this game this far, like when I was younger, like I will always want to hear like the original first.
Yeah.
I would want to play the original music if this was my first time completing the game.
Yeah.
I've played the game a few times, but I've also like studied the shit out of these soundtracks. I was so just, for my band or whatever, I've listened to all the soundtracks so many times that I've like, it was pretty welcoming for me to just play with the arranged version.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hell yeah.
The time I played the remaster, because it was just kind of like, oh, this is cool. This is like somebody else's take on these songs.
Yeah.
I wonder who helped with the remaster for the same crew.
I've always had a hard time finding a lot of like the who did what. If
Yeah,
a track has
yeah.
multiple people.
Yeah,
like the FF7 remake soundtrack. My understanding is he did a fair portion of the arranging.
Interesting.
Of the Uematsu tracks.
Yeah.
And like the arranging is some of the best arranging I've ever heard on the FF7 remake. I
Yeah.
think he took some of, but it's like, it's hard to, like, I have yet to find exactly like who did what on every album. The closest I could find was the actual Final Fantasy VII remake website. I think it gives some of the credits, but not all of the credits. So it's kind of hard for me to ever find out how much work he did in particular.
I feel like this is like an age-old thing with video game music, like dating back to like the worst culprits of it, where it was like the Konami sound team, and you're like, who was on that? Yeah, like who the fuck did that? This is such good music.
Well, like I was thinking, like I feel like Masashi Hamauzu isn't, I wouldn't say is underappreciated, but like Final Fantasy, that's Nobuo Uematsu, baby. Like when I hear Final Fantasy, I think Nobuo. Those two go together. Like those are two things that are inseparable. And so like I think it would be interesting to do one on Masashi Hamauzu, who's had multiple games from Final Fantasy.
I think that's a good idea. Another interesting thing that I want to point out is that on Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's a new track that's I forget what it's called, but it's like I remember playing through it and being like,
it's like Hollow.
Yeah, Hollow.
That's
and
like
I was trying to.
That's the main theme,
That plays at like in Sectors 5 or whatever.
Yeah, in one of the slums. And I remember hearing it and being like, "What song is this?" I was like, "Is this a weird take
like
on
Cosmo Canyon?"
Either Cosmo Canyon or
it has some of that similar kind of vibe.
For me, I was thinking Wutai, because there were certain things where it would sound like the with like the kind of sad motif going on, and then like I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's why this is my favorite song on this. That was one of the only songs done by Uematsu.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
it's so good.
Yeah.
And then spoiler alerts, Curtis, but it's the end credits theme with like lyrics. And,
oh, really?
And singing, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
Oh, do you not like that version?
I don't like the singing version of it, because I looked it up one time and it was like instrumental, and I was like, whatever, I'll just put on this one. And it was like the song before I got to that, and I was just like, oh my god, I hate this.
You were like,
I was like, music should only be instruments.
You're like, I don't like when they have songs. I only like it your way, the way you shyly place your eyes on
Fair.
me.
No, that's the exception.
Anything you'd like to promote? I know you all have been.
Are you in any projects or anything?
Well, I know Night of the Rounders have been doing some fun streaming lately. Now that we've been kind of stuck indoors.
Yeah, we can't play shows, so.
Sure as hell can play video games.
Next best thing to stay somewhat active. So yeah, we've been streaming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, different things with different band members on each day. But yeah, we've been been slowly growing the Twitch page. It's just twitch.tv/KOTR metal.
Hell yeah.
If you're playing
yeah,
a
it's been fun.
game with the other Justin, is that Justin squared or 2 times Justin? How does that work?
I think it's
W
called
Justin.
It's called
W Justin.
it's called
settled.
It's called
His
my.
last name is Wellbank, so that's
Ah.
I was gonna say it's my Justin, and me. It's like if Adam's playing with both the Justins.
and we totally are doing that every Thursday. We've been slowly getting through Final Fantasy VII.
Hell yeah.
Both Justins.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Nightoftheround.com is just our basic website that can kind of link you to all of our other social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. We had a new album, 7, came out in February, and still have CDs, vinyls available for that. We're also available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all that stuff.
Buy all their shit on
Buy
Bandcamp.
all their shit.
You know what? As a matter of fact,
buy a Moogle pentagram mask if they're still available. I'm
keep
assuming
this in
I
the
wear that
podcast,
everywhere.
Alex, because this is important. I'm gonna go to Bandcamp as we're recording right now. I'm gonna go to night of
Last little promotional tidbit. We are playing our very first live stream concert on November 14th, which I believe will be about a week after this drops. So we are playing Virtual VGM Fest Ultimate, curated by the fine folks over at Bonus Stage. It's actually going to be like an all-weekend VGM festival, November 13th through 15th. Pretty much anybody who's doing streaming shows is likely playing this. It's going to be awesome. We play Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern is our set, but the whole lineup is just, it's awesome. There's something for everybody for sure, and we're actually going to be doing like a full stage production as much as we can. We're going to have like lights set up in our rehearsal space and everything, so we're trying to go all out for this one.
That rules. What date is that again?
November 13th through 15th. We're playing on November 14th.
Hell yeah.
Which is a Saturday, if I have my dates right. Yes, we're playing Saturday night, the 14th.
That rules.
And that is at twitch.tv/bonusstagevan, VAN, all one word.
So I just wanted to say that literally on the podcast right now, I am purchasing a vinyl of 7.
Yo,
as
hell
we
yeah.
speak.
Oh, snap.
I got mine upstairs.
Do you really?
Hell yeah.
That rules. I just got
I guess I'll be going to the post office tomorrow.
And
declined.
Oh God. Yeah. All right, purchased.
Everyone do the same.
All right,
You
yeah.
guys
And
just heard the little buzz, but that was me getting the notification. of the purchase.
hey, there we go. All right.
Now you can.
Now everybody go do it as well.
And that's the story.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I guess read us some credits, and then if only we had some third version of the song from Macalania Woods to listen to as the outro. Somebody could write a heavier one, maybe.
Third version.
Like the original, the remaster.
Oh, I see. A rearranged.
A rearrange. Sorry, go ahead.
I also do have sort of a plug, I guess. It's kind of like a. It's like,
yeah, you fucking do. What am I doing? I'm sorry,
it's this,
Carl. Please.
There's this little Twitch event that happens.
It's growing.
Yeah, it's this.
You may not have heard of it yet.
I'm really doing it to help promote this event more so than anything. It's like a smaller stream, and I figure, I got like 250 followers on Twitch right now. I should probably help out the little guys.
Yeah, charity. Yeah,
so,
that's about as many Pokemon as there are, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's this small stream called Games Done Quick. And it's a 24-hour, 7-day-long speedrunning marathon that runs twice a year. And
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, you might have heard of it. But I got a speedrun into Awesome Games Done Quick 2021. I am still in shock because it's insane. Full disclosure to everyone on the podcast, when I submitted the run, I'm going to be doing
You're doing a Final Fantasy game, right?
No, unfortunately. I'm doing a run that I also submitted for the Speed Souls charity marathon, which is starting the day that this is dropping. I'm pretty sure this is dropping
Friday.
Yeah, it's starting. It's probably going on right now as you're listening to this, so hopefully you didn't miss it. Tomorrow on the 7th of November, I will be running this game against a friend of the show, Ashwin. And it's going to be really fun and really cool. But I figured since I had already submitted this for Speed Soul's charity marathon, I was like, well, AGDQ is online this year, so I might as well just submit it there. It'll be good to get a speedrun submission in that gets rejected for my first time submitting. So then when I have like a Dark Souls run that I would like to submit, or like start doing a Final Fantasy run, or something, then I can like really like put some hope into it. And I was like, it's gonna get rejected, whatever. I got in.
What game is it?
It is Demon Tower from the game Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
So
it's a game within a game.
It's a game within a game. It's not really a very big speed run right now. I think there's like 10 people on the leaderboard. So I don't know. There's been a lot of interest in it as well, because like very kindly Scott Benson, who is the creator of Night in the Woods, has like retweeted it, and like the folks at Finji have retweeted like my announcement of it and stuff. And everyone
they're excited because like they were saying, oh, we've never had a game that's been in
the
SDQ.
the first Finji game that's going to be at GDQ. So I'm kind of freaking out, and like I'm like, oh my god, there's going to be so many people watching me play this game that I like,
I'm so excited, dude. That's so good. Congratulations.
I'm very excited about that.
I'm gonna get your racing suit with a bunch of promotional also you have all these promotional like logos all over you and shit. You gotta dress fast.
Yeah, exactly. So there'll be more information to come probably next week on that, just because they haven't released the schedule. They've only released the game list, and I miraculously got on there. So
congratulations, man.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited.
The pale cat hath spoken.
Oh, you could dress as Pale Cat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going to be wearing my Sid Indoors shirt.
Oh,
Sid
yeah.
The Sid Prevails one?
Yeah. Is it Prevails or Indoors? It's whatever.
Indoors. I guess it is indoors. I thought you said indoors.
Sid Indoors. Anyway, I've taken up enough time. So
Hell yeah.
Play it out.
I made a nice abridged version of this outro.
Nice.
Thanks tonight around for the theme music. Nobuo Masashi Jr. for the game music. Rate, review, subscribe. Call us at 530-MATERIA or find us at every F and FF on all the things. See you next Friday.
Love it.
And if you're listening to this, then you're stuck in this podcast too.
It's so good!
This is Curtis Ware, host of the Every FNFF podcast. I'm currently driving back to Philadelphia with Alex. Say hi, Alex. Hey. And we forgot to tell you all what we're going to be doing for the next episode. So we're going to be going up until we literally get on an RV and have a cool outdoorsy RV drive. So it's going to be the Lake Macalania. There's going to be some shenanigans that are going to go down. And a cool RV ride with our friends to the temple. But we're going to stop before the temple because a lot of crazy stuff happens. Anyway, passing Wawa, so let us know if you want anything, and I'll see you next week.